A nation divided, the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was a long, costly and divisive conflict. It was a turning point in American history, shaking the nation's confidence and sparking widespread social unrest. The war's legacy continues to shape how we view our role in the world. Understanding the Vietnam War requires looking beyond dates and battles. It's about understanding the human cost and the complex web of events that led to such a devastating conflict. The Vietnam War was more than just a military conflict. It was a clash of ideologies, a struggle for independence, and a proxy war in the broader Cold War. It was a war that deeply divided America, pitting citizen against citizen and leaving lasting scars on the nation's psyche. The war's shadow loomed large over American society, influencing everything from politics and foreign policy to music and film. It forced Americans to confront difficult questions about their nation's role in the world, the limits of military power, and the true cost of freedom. Seeds of conflict, colonialism, and the rise of nationalism. To understand the Vietnam War, we must first delve into Vietnam's history of foreign domination and its struggle for independence. For centuries, Vietnam had been ruled by outside forces, most notably France. French colonialism, which began in the mid-19th century, exploited Vietnam's resources and people, fueling resentment and igniting nationalist sentiment. Amid this oppression, a young revolutionary named Ho Chi Minh emerged. Inspired by communist ideals, Ho Chi Minh sought to liberate Vietnam from colonial rule. He formed the Viet Minh, a communist-led independence movement, and declared Vietnam's independence from France in 1945, following World War II. However, France refused to relinquish its grip on Vietnam, leading to the First Indochina War from 1946 to 1954. The Viet Minh, through guerrilla warfare and unwavering determination, decisively defeated the French at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954. This victory marked the end of French colonialism in Vietnam, but set the stage for a new conflict, the Vietnam War. Ho Chi Minh's leadership and the rise of nationalism in Vietnam were pivotal in shaping the country's future. America's involvement, the Cold War, and the domino theory. The Vietnam War became deeply intertwined with the Cold War, a global ideological struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union. The US, fearing the spread of communism, viewed Vietnam as a critical battleground in this larger conflict. This fear was driven by the domino theory, which posited that if one Southeast Asian nation fell to communism, others would follow. Following the French defeat, Vietnam was temporarily divided into North and South Vietnam, with the communist Viet Minh controlling the north and a US-supported government in the south. The US, determined to prevent the communist north from taking over the south, gradually increased its involvement, sending military advisors and providing financial aid to the South Vietnamese government. In 1964, the Gulf of Tonkin incident occurred, in which North Vietnamese torpedo boats allegedly attacked US destroyers. This incident, which remains shrouded in controversy, provided the pretext for the US to escalate its involvement in the war. Congress passed the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, granting President Lyndon B. Johnson broad authority to deploy US military forces in Vietnam. The US involvement in Vietnam escalated rapidly, leading to a prolonged and contentious conflict that would have lasting impacts on both Vietnam and the United States. The aftermath and legacy of the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War left a profound impact on both Vietnam and the United States. In Vietnam, the war resulted in immense human suffering, with millions of lives lost and widespread devastation. The country faced the daunting task of rebuilding and healing from the scars of war. In the United States, the war led to deep social and political divisions. It sparked widespread protests and a re-evaluation of US foreign policy. The war also had a lasting impact on veterans, many of whom struggled with physical and psychological wounds. The legacy of the Vietnam War continues to shape US military and foreign policy decisions to this day. Understanding this legacy is crucial for comprehending the complexities of modern conflicts and the challenges of achieving lasting peace. Key events and escalations during the war, such as the Tet Offensive and the My Lai massacre, further intensified the conflict and its repercussions. The quagmire deepens. Key events and escalation. With the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, the US committed itself to a full-fledged war in Vietnam. The US military launched Operation Rolling Thunder, a sustained bombing campaign against North Vietnam, and deployed ground troops in increasing numbers. However, the US military faced unexpected challenges in Vietnam.